Watch the real-life program about exceptional destinies, remarkable opportunities, and unbelievable facts right now.
Let's just put the tent here. This is a room for Magjan and his bicycle. The latter is in the best place of the room. It isn't just a kind of vehicle, but a way to open the world and oneself. It took the citizen of Almaty 380 days to travel across the globe. In Uzbekistan, they threw empty bottles at him, while in the Turkmenistan desert, he had only one bottle containing water which saved him from thirst, and it was thrown at him. In the center of Europe, his bicycle was stolen. He understood that Iran had great virtue. He was bitten by dogs, a pistol was aimed at him in China, and he broke 2 ribs in Colombia. Magjan travels bringing peace. He tells us about his traveler's philosophy. If you set yourself an aim and try to achieve it, you should never turn back. You have to pursue it until the end. Hello, my friends. Porridge and cabbage soup. What does this search for spiritual food lead to? Countries and borders. What should you do when in Rome? The earth is round and the tongue is long. Where do all roads lead to? He doesn't like watching TV. It's better for him to flip through a world atlas, then go hitchhiking or leave by bicycle without choosing a specific destination. His interest always inspires him. Most of all, he wants to understand himself. Borders disappear in this way. When traveling, you're absolutely free and can do whatever you want, regardless of where you are and how you do it. You listen to your heart and just do it. Every day was unlike the previous one. I woke up and asked myself, where have I woken up now? I'm in Iran, or maybe Azerbaijan. The bicycle is recognized as a unique invention. It was invented a few times in different countries in different periods. Leonardo Da Vinci is considered the first inventor. He gets up at 5 a.m. and eats porridge, raisins, dried apricots, and nuts. This food provides the energy needed for a 5-hour bike ride. Well, when he remains in the city, his diet doesn't change significantly. He eats meat rarely. He drinks a lot of tea, though. He tried it in every country he visited, but adapting isn't always easy. When drinking mate, you can't understand what kind of tea it is and how they drink it. Would you like some masala chai? He covered 240 kilometers moving along a road where you could hardly see any cars. It was in the Turkmenistan desert, which was like a hot frying pan. The most terrible thing that could happen did happen. I was standing without water in the desert. I was dehydrated and about to lose consciousness when I saw a Kamaz lorry. I was holding an empty bottle in my hand. A man in the lorry used gestures to ask me what had happened. I showed him that I had no water.
Из салона показывает, что случилось. Я ему показываю, что у меня нету воды. И тут он пролетает.
Then he drove on about 10 meters and I saw a bottle being thrown from the lorry.
Бутылка. Литровая.
The 1-liter bottle of water saved my life. Even if it wasn't fresh water, it revived him. In Colombia, he tried an absolutely different kind of water.
Я спрашиваю местных, можно ли пить из-под крана, они говорят, да.
I asked local citizens if it was okay to drink tap water. They said, yes, of course. I filled a bottle, drank it, and felt rather strange. It was difficult for me to ride after that. I felt shivery. I couldn't understand what had happened to my body. There was an Ebola outbreak in Africa, and since mosquitoes had bitten me, I thought I had contracted malaria. I kept drinking the water. Magjan thought some food products had gone bad, and using a process of elimination, he got rid of the food he had, and only the dysentery bacillus remained. As for medicine, he had only tablets to treat headaches and fever. My grandfather compiled a traditional medicine collection all his life. When he got ill, he just opened his folder, looked up what he had to take, and, for example, then he needed to buy a lemon or an orange. I drank various infusions for 4 days. Afterwards, I recovered completely, touch wood. Magjan didn't catch the traveler's virus by chance. Since childhood, he has walked in the mountains and cycled. First, he hitchhiked. When he met other travelers, it became possible for him to fulfill his dream of leaving his house.
И такие люди, они вдохновляют. Они вдохновляли.
Those people inspired me, and once I said I was leaving, I went out on the street, put my hand out and hitchhiked to Uzbekistan. After that, I went to Russia, Armenia, Georgia, Turkey, and even visited Ukraine.
В Армению, Грузию, Турцию, на Украине побывал.
It took me 4 months to visit about 7 countries, and I only spent $400. These 4 months were the best in my life.
Это были самые крутые 4 месяца в моей жизни.
In order to get into a car with people you don't know, you need to overcome your fear and trust them. It helps to be full of spirit and to test your intuition.
Я открываю дверь.
I opened the door and something told me, don't get into this car. Don't do it. Just ask them if they're going to Istanbul. Or when you're somewhere in Russia.
Случайно не в Стамбул едете, допустим, в России находишься.
If people understand you and are kind to you, it provides spiritual food. As for exotic food, Magjan didn't dare try it. He had no choice. He preferred to remain hungry.
Я максимум без...
I spent at most 2 days without food. We walked for a very long time. It was in western Kazakhstan where it was very difficult to get a ride.
Мы шли на западном Казахстане и не могли никак машину поймать.
The less people there are, the more chances they have to get a ride quick as the wind. The problem is that people don't trust others. As a result, a whole collection of tips for advice for travelers appeared. It could be called the less the better. For example, the more casual clothes you wear, the better. According to researchers, people who like traveling prefer blue. My shirt has faded completely and has some holes in it. My shorts look awful as well. Your appearance should convince people that you're one of them.
Я старался выглядеть так, чтобы люди могли принять тебя за своего. Чем меньше у тебя...
The less money you have, the more interesting it will be.
Тем больше у тебя будет моментов.
If you've lost your backpack, tent or mobile phone, just forget about it. The less things you carry, the more extreme your journey becomes.
Если путешественник теряет...
It's awful when a traveler loses their backpack because there's a passport or money in it. On the other hand, there's a film quote saying, the best things in life are free.
Цитата из фильма «Все самое лучшее в жизни бесплатно».
Magjan understood the wisdom of this quote a few times. His bicycle was stolen in Barcelona after he traveled half the world and almost reached the finish line.
Меня 5 раз предупредили.
I was warned 5 times to be very careful in Barcelona. It was the first time I decided to be careful.
Быть осторожен. Первый раз в жизни решил быть осторожным. Я даже седло свое забрал.
I even removed the saddle, took it and my backpacks. I locked my bicycle and thought that nobody could cycle without a saddle. I went to the second floor of the hostel, and when I returned, my bicycle wasn't there anymore. I thought it was the end of my travels and wrote about it on Facebook.
Написал в Facebook.
He was caught in his own trap and decided it was the end of his journey. However, the trap saved him. The internet community didn't accept such a saddening result.
И все.
Lots of people sent $20 or $30 to my account and wrote, "The show must go on." because I had posted what had happened to me every day.
Шоу должно продолжаться, потому что я каждый день писал заметки о том, что со мной происходит.
This is the bicycle he bought using his friend's money. Magjan returned as a winner. He knows that life is the best teacher. The book containing his notes will be published soon. It has a lot of helpful and original pieces of advice, including, for example, how to cool down water in the desert.
Берешь носок, засовываешь туда бутылку.
You take a sock, put a bottle into it, make it all wet, and put it into the handlebar bag or keep cycling. When the wind blows on it, the bottle cools down.
Твоя бутылочка, она охлаждается.
The luggage amounts to 20 kilograms because it's impossible to take more. It includes a tent, food, and bicycle accessories. You have to change the tires every 2,000 or 3,000 kilometers. If you're lucky, you have the wind at your back. The bicycle speed record is 268 kilometers per hour. This record was established in 1995.
В Китае
We were exhausted in China where fierce winds were blowing. On average, we covered 20 kilometers per hour, but there we spent 5.5 hours cycling only 20 kilometers.
километров ехали 5,5 часов.
He had to overcome language barriers during journeys many times. Sign language was very helpful, but not everywhere. For example, gestures are completely different in China.
Ты показываешь
When you show them one, it seems they understand. But when you show two, they don't understand you. Everything is different there. This stands for 6.
десятка у них, вот так делаешь.
This is 10. Everything is different. The group of travelers, members of which were a Kazakh, a Frenchman, and a Lithuanian, found themselves in China. An adventure on the main road could have had a tragic outcome. You can't go by bicycle there, let alone in a wagon. The laws are very strict in China, and now Magjan knows about it. The Frenchman, Lithuanian, and I were standing like this, and the Chinese were shouting at us in Chinese. The Frenchman spoke in French, the Lithuanian said something in Lithuanian. I told them loudly to raise their hands and not move at all. Then the Chinese aimed a pistol at me. It happened for the first time in my life. 15 minutes later, we were having photos taken together with the policeman. In China, he had to defend himself against dogs. 2 huge dogs went after his provisions.
Они начали кусать.
They started biting my bags, and suddenly I felt fear. I stopped, and it bit my thigh. I collapsed, covered in blood. I thought they would kill me.
Я падаю в крови. Я думал, меня загрызут.
The problem was that the closest first aid station was about 400 kilometers away, and they didn't have any rabies vaccine there. Luckily, nothing happened. The knowledge of his native Kazakh language saved not only his wallet in Uzbekistan, he even had to jump out of a car.
Там четко было.
It was obvious that they were going to take a turn somewhere and rob me or do something else, God forbid.
Сделать.
Iran is a closed country, so not every foreigner can go there. Magjan was amazed by the kindness of this fairy tale country. Magjan says he didn't meet such genuine warmth in any other country.
Допустим, взять губку.
If you take a sponge and pour water on it, it absorbs the water quickly. The same happens in Iran. When they see a foreigner, they want to get acquainted with them very much. They're very friendly and good-natured.
Добродушные, там, дружелюбные.
Even when you cross their border, they say, "Welcome to Iran."
Добро пожаловать в Иран.
In Iran, he ate only kebab for a whole week. He knew how to pronounce only this dish. This is the youth festival in Armenia. People from the whole world gathered there to communicate with each other. They were without mobile phones, the internet, and even cameras because such things had been banned.
Просто живешь в горах месяц.
You just live in the mountains for a month, enjoy, study, and learn to play musical instruments.
Играешь на музыкальных инструментах.
My consciousness changed to a great extent there. Why do we need borders? Why do people wage wars against each other? Peace is right here.
Вообще там воюют с друг другом. Вот же мир.
He went to 22 countries by bike. Now Magjan has a different aim. I've set myself an aim to complete the 7 peaks. They're the 7 highest mountains of all the continents. In February, Maksud Jumayev and I conquered the highest peak of South America, Aconcagua.
Зашли на высшую точку Южной Америки, Аконкагуа. Мне нравится.
I like being at the limit of my strength when my body and pulse are at their limit. Although you know it's difficult, you keep going and don't ever stop.
Идешь и не останавливаешься.